Hi everyone, I'm Paul. I'm the founder of Crunchable, and today I want to show you the first steps into modeling your business in Crunchable. Crunchable helps you to figure out how to run your business from potentially a financial perspective, but it works a bit different from, let's say, traditional financial planning and analysis tools. And that's because Crunchable really starts from your business model. And in the business model, it's not just about the numbers, it's also about the dynamics of different elements. And so what we're going to do today is just run through the onboarding to figure out how to set up that first business model. Here you see that last step of the onboarding. As you can see, it's a chat right now. So it's basically a conversation. And Crunchable just asks you to basically start off with a first description of your business idea. And we'll use a business model canvas to kind of visualize it. So I'll start there. For this case, I will use Growth Getaway, which is another company that I'm running together with Lisbeth. And so I'll just start explaining what it does and you'll see immediately. So I'll just start typing here. Growth Getaway. Growth Getaway is an offsite company based in Ericeira. We organize company offsites mainly focused at remote teams. We help with all operational logistics, but also help you by facilitating various strategy workshops to make sure you get the most out of your offsite with your team. So I'm just giving it a very broad perspective, as you're seeing, and immediately it starts identifying different things from this to basically fill in your business case. So it will ask us some questions to clarify. So in this instance, about the value proposition, customer segments, primary customers, different revenue streams, like how we charge our customers, if we have different pricing tiers. So I think first on the value proposition. So on the value propositions, we mainly focus on three things. One, we take away any operational hassle as we book all your accommodations, activities, restaurants, etc. Two, we help you strengthen team bonds with different activities. As you might understand, offsites are usually a lot about team bonding. And three, we help get answers on strategic questions by organizing and facilitating various workshops. So I could also immediately tell it about all sorts of other things that it does, but in this case I'll just focus on the value propositions. And as you can tell, it immediately set up these first value propositions, and it also filled them in the business model canvas. So it captured these three value propositions, and now it also understands that this is the business that we're actually executing on. So now it wants to know our customer segments, right? Our primary customers, are there specific types of companies or industries, and do you target companies of a certain size or with specific needs? Okay, so we see three types of customer segments. The first are, let's say, executive teams. that want to realign on strategy and operational focus. Usually these are companies that are growing. The second are teams between 15 and 30 people who really want to create a stronger bond and get to know each other. These are usually remote teams. And the third is companies from like up to 150 people. Those are more conference style offsites. Usually also full remote companies that use this as an annual offsite. All right, so again, here we see the different customer segments, right? So the executive teams, remote teams, 15 to 30 people, and larger remote companies up to 150 people. And it can actually use this information later on to create more specific models for your revenue streams or your marketing activities. And that's also the thing that we're going to focus on now, right? So the revenue stream, is it a one-time fee? Is it subscription? Or is it based on the number of participants? Do we have any pricing tiers? So I think in this sense, we have a number of components. The first is the organizational side, where we book. There are different prices for the different segments. The smaller segment is about 3K per offsite. The middle, let's say roughly 5K per offsite. And for the bigger one, it depends. But for now, let's say about 10K, well, probably more like 15K per offsite to organize everything for them. The workshop side is optional, and not everyone buys it. But if they do, it is usually about 10K for the executive teams, about 5K for the remote teams that focus on team bonding because it's just less intense. For the large teams, we have about 10K as it is, or let's say 15K as it is about organizing a more conference style activity. So let's see what it does, because there's different ways in which it can interpret this. It could do one single revenue stream with different tiers. It could do several different revenue streams. Let's see what it does. As you see, sometimes it needs to think. Okay, so it actually did 6 different ones, right? So that's also kind of what I told it to do. So it does 3 different tiers for the different organizational aspects, and then also 3 for the workshops. So you see we have 6 different streams in here right now. So yeah, that's basically to get it started. There's one big important step, which I'm going to add here now. I can continue to Crunchable right now, but I'm going to do one more thing, which is add channels to actually make it calculate the revenue streams. Because as you can see right here, none of the revenue streams actually have revenue, and that is because the different revenue streams do not have any channels that actually drive customers to it. So I'm going to just ask it, can you help me set up the channels that drive new customers? Right, so you can just navigate through the entire business model to get there. So it says certainly set up channels that drive new customers. Let's consider what channels do you currently use or plan to use: online marketing, partnerships, direct sales. How effective are they? What do they cost? So I'm going to let's focus on LinkedIn outreach. I expect to see, let's say, several executive teams over the following period. So that we say, for instance, one in May, June, and July. August will be we don't expect anyone. And then in September, I expect it to pick up and get 2 more clients. In October, also 2. November, 1. And then December will be flat. For the following years, we expect sort of the same outcome, but every year should be a bit better for the next 5 years. Right, so I can actually really tell it like how I expect my marketing to continue. So let's see what it does. So here's the LinkedIn outreach. So it's set up the LinkedIn outreach with different customers per month. So 1 new customer in May, June, and July. It's actually connected, I think, to executive teams and to the different value propositions, but it did not connect it to a revenue stream. Right, so I think what I'm going to ask it is to connect it actually to the revenue stream. So the channel is not connected to the revenue streams. Can you connect it to the revenue for executive teams? And let's see like what we get then. So here it goes. So it says like I connected LinkedIn outreach and offsite organization to medium teams. Not sure if that's the one that I wanted, because I was actually, let me see. No, it's actually correct. So it's actually the service for executive teams. So it's now connected to that. And that also means that we're now seeing actual revenue in there, right? So let's see if we continue to the full product now. Apparently it does think so, but it doesn't give me the button. So I'm just going to scroll up here. I mean, I already had the option before, so I'm just going to go to Crunchable. So now it's going to set up my workspace, so my full business model canvas, which we already saw in the beginning. It's now also going to set up my hiring plan and the first financial projections. And then here's also my first dashboard with customers that I can expect and also revenue that I can expect. And you can see also that it actually mapped out my first revenue based on those first channel that it set up. So this kind of gives you a rough idea how to get started here. There's loads of different details to go into later. But let's see how you do. Thank you.